When you've been wanting a big change and you just don't have the patience to wait for your hair to grow, extensions and a color modification could be the exciting new adventure. I cut Morgan's hair a few times in a cool chopped French bob. She rocked it, but now it was time for a big switch.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I'm also down to go lighter. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
you know?
however light we can get it, because we've been
Yeah.
putting dark on your hair, and so I'm going to lift through,
Yeah.
and however light we get it, we can get it. We can always come down from
Right.
that. But I think what we can do, since we're extending your hair, what we can do is do a certain amount of lightness to you, and we can always get lighter through the extensions and your ends be the lighter. And about how long do you want it?
I think I was just going to start with probably like around.
So right above the bust.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think that's a good length
Yeah.
for you too. I chose to use lightener with a low 15 volume developer because we needed to get past orange, but only to a caramel shade. I began in the back on a section with bolder spaced out pieces that are painted heavily on the ends, then feathered up, keeping my distance from the scalp. On the next section, weave your comb through, creating closer highlight segments to break up and give variation to the pattern. Continue and finish off the back sections, making sure to thin out your highlights as you reach the top crown of the head. When you get to the sides, notice how the segment closest to the face gets painted higher up the section, closer to the scalp. This is why the initial root teasing is very important. Okay, done. I'm choosing to use heat to help me cut through dark tint used previously on Morgan's hair. Let's see how things are looking. She looks like she needs just a few more minutes' time. Here I'm using a cool toner to balance and eliminate any area that might have too much warmth. Apply evenly, section by section, to ensure every highlighted segment receives the toner. Wow, the color is a perfect caramel. More change coming. When blending in a very short chop bob haircut with blunt ends, all the edges need to be blurred and softened. Here, I will use different tools and a series of techniques to texturize only the last 1.5 inches of the ends. So this isn't actually a planned, mapped out haircut. It's more of a way to soften the texture on the edges here, so that they blend into the extensions. And then you can pick up some texturizer scissors. I have these. It'll help taper the hair. We had a very blunt cut, and now if you look down in here, it's very softened and tapered. And that's going to help it blend in with the extensions. You can see if there's a thick spot, then you just go in and do a little bit to relieve some of that weight. Wash the extensions without getting water or shampoo on the tapes. The shampoo and blow dry will accurately expand the extension hair. End by installing rows of tape on extensions by starting approximately 1 to 1.5 inches above the nape. Clean partings allow a clean application. Take a very thin sub-parting from the section directly below the main parting. Lay the first half of the panel under your subsection, sticky side up. Use the tail end comb to lay the subsection of the hair onto the tape. Lay the second half of the panel, sticky side down, making sure it is lined up directly over the under panel Then press softly with your index fingers from the midpoint of the base, pressing outward to the right and left edges. Lift the panel and press together from both sides. Follow through with the same process on the sides. I like my first side section to be a minimum of 3/4 inch above the ear and 3/4 inch back from the face. Continue up the side of the head. Consistency will help you to fill in the short bob with flowing hair. Sometimes I like to cut an extension panel in half to create a mini panel. Now you can detail some face frame color one streak at a time, or add a little extra hair wherever you might have an empty spot. Follow your same pattern and spacing placement for both sides. Here I'm customizing a mini panel to work with Morgan's habit of running her left fingers through the top of her hair. Blending and transitioning the short hair to the long extensions begins with vertical section. Open the blades of your shears medium to wide and slide the scissor blades from where your client hair ends and the extensions begin. Blend down almost all the way to the ends. If you would like a fuller perimeter, take the lower levels of the vertical section out before blending. Working around the head, first drop out the lower levels to maintain weight, then measure up where the client's hair ends as the starting point for your top layer. Twist, cut, and slide to filter in small bits of blending. Here it's for face framing. Here I'm twist cutting the very ends of Morgan's real hair to lighten the weight of the first layer even further. Work your way around the head to the other side. Morgan and I agreed that a small bitty fringe would frame and bring attention to her eyes. For styling, place the iron just above where her hair ends. Use vertical sections for just a few seconds. Stretch it down to take the bounce out of the wave. Slightly heat up and direct the outer ends of the fringe. I think we're both happy with this big change of going from a short geometric haircut to long and sexy. Thank you for watching and subscribing to Philip Carry On Style at Main Source.